Welcome to a club for people who love good movies. Use the links in the description to navigate the list of films quickly. Guardians of the Galaxy. Fresh space adventurer Peter Quill finds himself the quarry of relentless bounty hunters after he steals an orb coveted by Ronan, a powerful villain. To evade Ronan, Quill is forced into an USE truce with four desperate misfits: gun-toting Rocket Raccoon, tree-like humanoid Groot, enigmatic Gamora, and vengeance-driven Drax the Destroyer. But when he discovers the orb's true power and the cosmic threat it poses, Quill must rely on his ragtag group to save the universe. Frozen. Fearless optimist Anna teams up with Kristoff in an epic journey, encountering Everest-like conditions, and a hilarious snowman named Olaf in a race to find Anna's sister Elsa, whose icy powers have wrapped the kingdom in eternal winter.
Mad Max Fury Road. Years after the collapse of civilization, the tyrannical mortal Joe enslaves apocalypse survivors inside the desert fortress, the Citadel. When the warrior Imperator Furiosa leads the deposed five wives in a daring escape, she forgets an alliance with Mag Rocktensty, a longer former captive. Fortfilled on the massive armored truck, the War Rig, they try to outrun the restless warlord and his henchmen in a deadly high-speed chase through the wasteland. Fast 5. Ever since ex-cop Brian O'Connor and Mia Toretto broke her brother Dom out of custody, they've traveled border to border to evade authorities. In Rio de Janeiro, they must do one final job before they can gain their freedom for good. Assembling their elite team of car racers, Brian and Dom know they must confront the corrupt businessman who wants them dead before the federal agent on their trial finds them. Paul. For the last 16 years, a wisecracking alien named Paul has resided at a top-secret military base in America's UFO heartland. When Paul decides he has had enough of Earth, he escaped from the compound and hops on the first handy vehicle, a rented RV manned by two British sci-fi nerds named Graham and Cleve. With federal agents and the father of an accidental kidnapped victim on their tail, the two hatch a crazy plan to help Paul return to his spaceship.
American Pie. A rituals and raunchy exploration of the most eagerly anticipated and most humiliating rite of adulthood, known as losing one's virginity. In this hilarious lesson in life, love, and libido, a group of friends fed up with their well-deserved reputations as sexual no-hitters decide to take action. Snatch. Illegal boxing promoter Turkish convinces gangster Brick Top to offer bets on bare-knuckle boxer Mickey as his bookie business. When Mickey doesn't throw his first fight as agreed, an infuriated Brick Top demands another match. Meanwhile, gangster Frankie Four Fingers comes to place a bet for a friend with the Brick Top's bookies as multiple criminals converge on a stolen diamond that Frankie has come to London to sell. Brokeback Mountain. In 1963, rodeo cowboy Jack Twist and range hand Ennis Del Mar are hired by rancher Joey Aguirre as sheep herders in Wyoming. One night on Brokeback Mountain, Jack makes a drunken pass at Ennis that is eventually reciprocated. Though Ennis marries his longtime sweetheart, Alma, and Jack marries a fellow rodeo rider, The two men keep up their tortured and sporadic affair over the course of 20 years. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Eddie, Nick Moran, convinces three friends to pull funds for a high-stakes poker game against local crime boss Hatchet Harry. Harry cheats and Eddie loses, giving him a week to pay back £500,000 or hand over his father's pub. Desperate, Eddie and his friends wait for their neighbors to rob some drug dealers, then rob the robbers in turn. After both thefts, the number of interested criminal parties increases, with the four friends in dangerously over their heads.
Once upon a time in America. In 1968, the elderly David Noodles Aronson returns to New York, where they had a career in the criminal underground in the 20s and 30s. Most of these old friends, like longtime partner Max, are long gone, yet he feels his past is unresolved. Told in flashbacks, the film follows Noodles from a tall kid in a Jewish slum in New York's Lower East Side through his rise to bootlegger and then mafia